Knows I've been changing with it. We have to, right? We hear a lot about celebrities and the stories of what they've overcome. I wanted to do a show that highlights some of the not so well known overcomers and what can happen if we just keep going. An athletic champion that hit rock bottom on crack cocaine reclaims his life and builds a first-class business that provides jobs for over 80 employees, known by the mayor, known by the police chief as the VIP security specialist, and to his wife, a loving husband. He is Jimmy Walton.
It would take me down that path. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know. I didn't think for 1 second that it would take me through a path that, of destruction.
So you thought it was just fun.
It was
you were
fun.
just having fun.
It was fun. It was fun until it wasn't fun.
Till it wasn't fun.
And then when it wasn't fun, it was too late.
Right.
It was too late.
So tell us how you got into it being too late.
It's a time when when you go over the line where you start losing stuff. You start losing where you're in an apartment, but you're not paying rent. You have electricity, but you're not paying electricity. You have water, but you're not. All that stuff. Oh no! All of a sudden, the lights go out. Then you have to leave, and it got to a time where I was on the streets, but I was going from I used my football star stuff to survive in all these neighborhoods and all these projects, and I knew girls and lived in all these projects, and I wasn't on the streets, but I was on the streets.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That was the first part.
Right. How old were you?
24, 25, 26. Yeah.
So about 25, 26, maybe 24. And this was, you were hooked on crack.
Yeah, I was out there.
And and you were homeless?
Yeah, off and on.
Off and on.
Off and on.
Okay.
I stayed in hotels. These hotels they have downtown. It's like when you're on the streets and you have any kind of hustle or any kind of game or any kind of know-how. So, I turned into a pretty much like an enforcer out there.
Okay.
I turned into a different person. I was very dangerous, very dangerous, and I protected the hookers, and they used to bring me money. I used to go out to I used to go after the people that used to try to rob the dope dealers. Used to go after them. It was a crazy world at that point.
So you were doing this so that you could make an income?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the income was basically feeding your habit.
Feeding my habit, food, staying in these hotels. It was a whirlwind back then. It was really, all of it was bad.
Right.
But it was different parts. And then in '92, I remember meeting my daughter's mother. We hit it off, and only thing we ever had in common was dope. That's it.
Drugs.
Yeah, that kind of changed the whole thing for me.
When you were out on the street, did you end up going to jail at any times when you were on crack? And
went to jail a few times for little stuff. I went to jail a lot. And bringing that back to God, I would go to jail for little stuff, get let out. Then I went back to jail on a violation, like a probation violation, 3 years joint suspended. 3 years joint suspended means if you get caught doing anything, you got 3 years in penitentiary. That's what that means. Tell you how God works. So I pick up something else and go to court. I thought he was going to send me, revoke my probation. He reinstated my probation and I'm doing 6 more months, right?
How many times have you been in jail?
Shit. What do you mean, been in or just locked up?
Locked up
3 times.
3 times.
Like I said, I got reinstated 3 times. That's unheard of. In California, you only get reinstated 1 time. 3 times.
Unheard of.
Tell me about God and what he can do for you. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You just can't do it.
Absolutely.
I ain't never snitched on nobody. I ain't never told on nobody. I ain't never, none of that.
But God did it.
God did it.
Wow.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I was flabbergasted just when I first heard that you had been in 7 raids and they didn't take you. And that was enough for me to be like, what? That doesn't make sense. So that along with this.
Got out and got with some different women, but it always has something to do with drugs.
Right.
So I went through some years in that lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle of hell. I can't really explain it, but it's a bad world. It was a bad world. I went through a whole lot of stuff.
Can you tell me, as you're talking about that, a little bit, what would be one thing, if you were to explain to me, one thing that happened that expounds and really would get me to see what you mean by that hell?
I remember times where it was raining and you really didn't have nowhere to go, and you're still trying to get high, and the only place to really get some good dope is across town, but you can't catch the bus because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, so you gotta walk. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You
had to do it because you had to have it.
Absolutely, because they had the best. Over there, they had the best.
Right. So, would you say that it's really a loss of control?
Of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are not in control of anything at all at that point. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Right. Yeah. What was your lowest?
My lowest was the 2 days before I got clean. Now, I want you to listen to this because it's still a miracle to me. Now, at this time, I had a room downtown on 6th Street. I had plenty of coke. I had girls coming in and out. I was doing some kind of thing. I had girls coming in and out. I remember waking up one morning. This was just 2 days before the 14th of March. I get up, girls laying down, another girl was laying down, they were asleep. And we had the coke right here, we had the crack right here. And I hit it, the first one of the day, that's the one, that's the one you look for.
All right.
Right? I'm waiting. So I hit it and nothing happened. True story.
Wow.
I said, what the? I tried it again. Nothing happened. It wasn't because you get the bells and the whistles and the everything chirping in your head because they call it beam me up to Scotty. Yeah, but anyway, nothing happened. And I didn't know what was going on at this point. I didn't know what was happening. I'm like, what the heck? Then I wake them up and say, y'all changed dope on me. Y'all switched up. What is this? I kick everybody out.
Right.
So I go get some fresh stuff. Fresh. I know this stuff is fresh, right? Put it down, hit it, and it wasn't the same. It wasn't no bells, no whistle. It was just smoke. I said, oh, this is crazy. So I tried to smoke weed again. And it didn't feel right. It felt like my body would start itching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I tried to drink, and I would throw up. It was like my body just. I got blessed so hard. It took the everything out of me.
Wow.
That one night, and I tried for 2 days, and then I got sick. I got really sick, right? And at this time, I wasn't on good terms with my stepfather. Okay. I couldn't go to mom's, right? But he was out of town.
Okay.
And she said, "Come over," and I drugged myself all the way. I mean, I couldn't hardly walk. I couldn't hardly breathe. And if I would have hit something, or if I would have took another drug, I know I would have been dead. You can't even tell me. To this day, I'm telling you, if I would have took anything, I wouldn't be here talking to you. So I went to mom's. She let me in. At this time, I had that time, he had had 2 pair of pants on, some sweats, some pants, and 3 layers of, you know what I mean? Peeled all that off. Peeled it off. Got in the bathtub. This is March 13th, 1999. And I went to sleep. She said, just get some sleep, and we'll see about getting you some help in the morning, whatever. So I went to sleep, and I dreamed about dying. I dreamed about going to jail, and I dreamed about being in a straitjacket all night.
Wow.
All night. All night. Then I'll wake up out of the dreams, sweating. Go and drink some water, go back to the dream. Same dream. That night, I got on my knees and said, God, just let me live through this one night. You never have to worry about me again. Never. Cope, nothing. And that was March 14th, 1999.
Wow.
I ain't turned back yet.
Wow.
You know?
When you were strung out still, how did it affect your family and your mom?
Oh, man. She's like the angel that was sent to me. She was there when nobody was there. She was there. She came to visit me. She came. She supported me. But then when I got clean and I went back out there in 92, I got clean because my daughter was born.
Okay.
I needed to get clean. I didn't want to get clean. Okay. It's a difference.
Right. So you need to be clean maybe for responsibility's sake.
Yes.
Okay.
Wanting to be clean is by any means necessary, done whatever it takes. But when needing to be clean, you're not gonna do whatever it takes.
Okay.
I had a support group. I was speaking at meetings, and I was doing all this stuff at the beginning. Eventually, I ended up using because I didn't do the step work. I didn't use my support group. I got a support group, the Men in Motion, that I'm still affiliated with. We have a lot of success stories. We have a lot of entrepreneurs. We have a lot of people that made it from the streets, but we used to meet inside of a circle and tell our stories.
Right.
And we used to feed off each other as men, black men, in recovery. And I didn't use them like I should have. I didn't do what it took.
Because you didn't want to be.
I didn't want to be clean. It was like I had reservations already. Even when I started, I had reservations. I'm gonna do this for a couple of years. I'm gonna do this for a minute, but I'm gonna go and do my thing, and then nobody's gonna know. Right. Nobody's gonna know. Oh, somebody knows. Believe that. God knows.
Right. Yeah. So you got clean, and then you went back.
I went back out in 95.
And how long were you back on it?
See, I went from 95 to 99.
Okay.
So the first time I was out there, I was a beast among beasts. But this time I was out there, I was a beast, but things have changed. It's changed. The whole thing, the whole street thing has changed. Somebody tried to rob me. I ain't never tried. I ain't never tried to rob me. Tried to rob me. I'm like, oh no. little stuff. You know, I was getting picked up for paraphernalia. They was putting me to jail. It was bad. Then, you know, I never used to be paranoid. I used to get paranoid. I'm like, what the? It was different. It was different. So now it's crack for real.
Okay.
And before that it was coke. You know, it was difference.
So this is the crack where there's the epidemic and
Yeah,
people are stealing from their family
bad.
members and everybody's on the street and it's really,
I caught a hold of that part. And it was bad. And how I'm living and how I'm breathing right now, only God brought me through that one. Because it was some bad times. It was some you know.
Can you share one of them?
One of the most horrific things that ever happened to me. It was like 2:00 in the morning. Now on this side, these people over here, they sell real coke. On this side, they were selling gaffle, fake coke, fake crack, right? So this guy sold this one guy some fake crack. Now this dude worked every day for a living. He ain't with the games. So he sold him some fake crack. Right? He saw him, came back to him, blew his head off right by me, like boom.
Whoa.
Blood, everything on my shoulder. That was the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life. Ever.
How did you deal with that emotionally and mentally?
I took them clothes off, changed my clothes, and went back to getting high. You got to adapt to your surroundings. That's what happened. When I got clean in '99, it was a whole different ball game. You know, it was. I came in and I knew. I said, I'm never going back out there.
You had the want to then.
I wanted to be clean. It wasn't no need. I wanted to be clean. And what happened for me was I went to a recovery living up Upper Haight Street in San Francisco with a big Victorians, right? They had a big Victorian house for recovering addicts. And they served gourmet food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Had your room. It was perfect. I don't know how I got hooked up into that. I applied for a few of them, and that one called me. I remember 3 days after I got there, guy came to me. He said, "Yeah." He said, "This guy he's laying he does cement. He lay tiles now. So they paying good money." So I went down there and he was paying $15 an hour cash. You know what I mean?
Right.
At the end of the week. And that was good money for me. Well, $15 an hour. Oh, let's go.
Right.
So I learned a trade out of doing that. I applied for the city job and got hired at Muni.
Okay.
Security on the buses.
Wow.
And my life every year has changed. You know, when I was working for Muni, I went to the DMV to do something with my license or something, right? And I ran into a big promoter. And I was talking to him about, when I was in college, I did the Jackson's Victory Tour. I did that for 12 shows.
Did what?
Security.
Okay.
That was my first job. That was my first job. I swear, my first security job. So when I was telling him about this, and his ride left him. It's how God is always working through my life. His ride left him, and I said, "I'll give you a ride." And he got to talking. He said, "Do you have a company?" I told him, "Yeah," right off the bat. "Yeah." He said, "Well, I need you and another guy at this club." And from that point forward, my life has changed forever.
And what year was that?
That was in 2000.
2000. So that was 1 year after you basically
1 year after I got clean. once I showed up to the club, I got one of my good friends. We got some two black jackets. Went to the club, and then the rest, you know.
So at the time when you told him you had the company, you didn't actually have a
I didn't have a
company.
company.
But you were ready to work.
I was ready to work.
And then how long after you did that did you actually start your own company?
I actually started my company like 6 months after that. We did so well. He said, okay, I'm gonna need 3 guys over at this club, and I'm gonna need 3 guys on this club. And then what happened was, and what was so genius about what I did was, I went to every neighborhood and got all the people that they respected in that neighborhood, gave them VIP jackets, and we just cleaned clubs out.
What made you think that after being on drugs for so many years, after selling drugs for so many years, after having several different stints with jail and probation, what made you think that you could start your own company and be successful?
When I got clean, and they told me the sky's the limit. I took it literally. They said, you can do whatever you want to do. She said, you got a second chance to a first class life. I took it literally. When I started the business, everybody was saying, you're gonna be in these clubs, you're gonna relapse, this ain't gonna work. And you know what I used to say to everybody? I know what I'm not gonna do. I know what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna jump off no bridges. I'm not gonna run in front of no trucks. I'm not gonna run in front of no buses, and I'm not gonna hit no crack. That's what I'm not gonna do. Those are things that it's not gonna happen ever in this lifetime.
At what point did you think, okay, this is really becoming a success?
Yeah.
And I need to really be more serious about this and take some new steps. And what were those steps that you took?
My first year was phenomenal because I went from 4 or 5 clubs in the city, then Oakland, and all I did was collect the money. I knew I had extra money, extra income coming in, and I loved it. And I loved it. I loved it. I was starting getting addicted to it, and then all of a sudden, I got the Metro PCS stores. So no, I got CBS.
Okay.
CBS, I did the America's Next Top Model, casting calls.
Wow.
East Coast, West Coast. Then I did the WWE autograph signing. And they happened to be at the Metro PCS store in I think it was Concord or something like that. And they had over like 2,000 people in there, and we only had 4 security, and we handled it. And one of the owners of Metro PCS stores said, "We got to have you in our stores," and the rest is V.I.P. history. Man, I've never seen that kind of money in my life. Never. I had no sense of accountability for all this money. This money started out. So I had CBS. Then I got Metro. I had 13 stores. Then I got Popeye's Chicken. Then I got Comp USA. Then I got Marshalls. And this was all at the same time. And I didn't know how to deal with the money. Nobody was telling me about to invest. Buy this. Get some rental property. Do this. You know what I did?
No, what did you do?
I got private jets to go to breakfast in Miami. Silly stuff. Wasted a lot of money. I know what it is to spend $1 million. I know that. Okay. I know what that feels like. At the beginning, I got married. That didn't work. I got married again. I thought this was it. That didn't work. Right? But I'm still successful. But I'm not running the business the way it's supposed to be ran. I'm not paying the taxes what I'm supposed to be paying. Okay. I don't have the accountant. Then I had to go get me an accountant. And then I found out about the I, the R,
and the S.
And those are 3 brothers you don't play with.
Right.
So, they tore a patch out of me. I started learning about the CPAs and learning about the business structure, and it took a while. Everything that could help the business, that was positive, I was grasping onto.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, my second marriage, I lost a couple of big contracts. And then I got a divorce, and I had to put everything in trust. I had to shut the business down. This was the restructure. I went from $30,000 a week to $25 an hour. And then I had to get another job with the cement trucks, making $30 an hour. And then I had to do another job just to keep my bills. I'm in the house by myself. I got a 5-bedroom house, pool, everything, and I still got all these payments. When I was married, we went on this cruise called Festival at Sea. I love that cruise. So when I got divorced, I made sure I went on that cruise the next year with these 3 jobs. And that cruise kind of like gave me the fuel to keep going every year just to get back on that. I said, if I could get back on that cruise and still maintain, I'm good. And I push myself to do that every year.
How many years did it take for you to get back to where you were running your business again?
About 2 years. Mercedes-Benz of Oakland. They gave me a piece of paper. They slid the paper and said, "What's your fee?" I put my number up there, and they started me. They started me. They're the backbone of me coming back. I met my wife in 2012. She was with me before I got Mercedes. When I met her, it was like, that's changed my whole world.
What's your family life like now?
Oh man, wake up. She has her business, and she's a big part of my business. I go. First thing I do is get up in the morning, and I'll go work out, and then I come back and I make coffee for her. When she gets up, then we get the kids up. When the kids go do homeschooling, and then after homeschooling, then I have to go work out with them. We have a good life. We're just teaching the boys how to be champions, how to adapt in this world where they never have to pay rent again or ever in their life. Mm-hmm. My goal and what I want to do is have them a piece of property, rental property, when they graduate high school.
That's not the normal thing that most people are trying to give their children when they graduate high school. Exactly. But it is definitely a way to build legacy.
Absolutely.
And make sure that they are able to take care of themselves. Absolutely. Down the line, some generational wealth. How many people do you have working for you now?
We have 88 people in San Francisco and Oakland. And we have 53 solids that work 24 hours a day. From the crack to the corporate. Mm-hmm. My life has changed abundantly. It's like night and day. It's better than what it ever was. It's a great place to be.
How does that feel for you, and how do you think you got there?
I know how I got here. God looked out for me. He blessed me. He had an assignment for me to do, and I'm doing his assignment. And my assignment is I try to help people get established back into this life. That's my calling. That's what I do. And I have a company where I can say, okay, I'm going to hire you because I feel that, you need another chance but you have to have the right credentials to get hired. Right. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed. Sometimes I feel so grateful. Mm-hmm. I feel really blessed. Really, really blessed. And sometimes I say, well, why me? How did you choose me? I'm so glad he did, though. I'm so glad he did. I feel like I'm a walking miracle. I feel like if I picked up the dictionary and looked up blessings, miracles, my picture would be there.
So with that, we are going to end right here. And I want to say thank you so much for coming on and sharing everything that you had to share today. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No, man. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much. I do.
Right. Thank you for watching this episode of Just Keep Going. If you'd like, you can find more of this interview at toyahawkins.com.